Welcome to Dire Straits Live. I'm Tracy Clark-Flory.
I'm Amanda Monty.
Today, we are talking about Heated Rivalry, the spicy hockey drama that everyone is talking about, literally everywhere. You cannot go out of your house without running into someone talking about it. And given that our podcast, Dire Straits, is all about critiquing hetero love and sex and politics and culture, we obviously have to tackle this topic. So we're doing a bonus episode on this cultural phenomenon. We're going to look at why do women like it, and does it have something to do with the current hetero-pessimistic moment that we are living through?
This is one of our special podcast episodes recorded live on Substack in front of a virtual audience. Hi, everyone. These are more casual, chatty, and terrifyingly completely unedited versions of our podcast. Up until now, we've been releasing these only on our Substack show page as a special extra for paid subscribers, but now we are pushing them to the podcasting apps too.
Yes. So if you are listening to this after the fact on a podcasting app like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you will have to upgrade to a paid subscription to hear the whole thing. Same thing goes if you're getting this in your inbox as a free subscriber. So go to direstraitspod.com. That's Straits with a GH to upgrade.
And you'll also get access to all of our pod episodes without any paywalls. You'll also get access to other special bonus content, our subscriber chat, and other community extras.
Yes. And I think we want to start by acknowledging that for some people, this kind of cultural commentary might seem frivolous given the state of things.
Yes. As you probably know, there is state violence raging on in Minnesota and Illinois and across the country. If you somehow missed it, according to sources in Minnesota, ICE agents are going door to door, targeting schools and buses and hospitals, smashing windows, all without warrants.
Yes. We also think that it's important to shine some light on the good things that people are doing right now. They are fighting back, not just with mass protests, but by working to protect their neighbors and employees and with mutual aid. Nicole Renee Good and her family are on our minds every day, as an estimated 30 plus people killed by ICE last year, as are, I should say, an estimated 30 plus people. And we believe that pop culture and heteroculture is all about power. And that's why we're here.
For sure. Yeah. And there was a very distinct hetero-patriarchal element to the shooting death of Renee Good. So, we do feel like centering stories about queer pleasure and love actually makes a lot of sense right now.
Yeah.
If you do want to help those in Minnesota, I'm also going to share some resources through my newsletter tomorrow. And yeah, let's jump into our conversation about heated rivalry. I should say on a lighter note, a much, much lighter note. One more thing before we dig in. In no way to undercut the cultural value of this show, but Tracy, television is so bad right now. Are you
Really
feeling
bad.
this way? There's nothing good on, except maybe like The Pit. I don't know. People are very into The Pit.
I tried it. I couldn't. I gave it one episode and I couldn't get into it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again because it is pretty bleak in terms of what they're serving up. And now they're charging us like twice what they were on Netflix. When did that happen? But yes.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to watch Landman. Have you?
I haven't heard of this. Haven't seen it.
Oh,
no.
Gosh. Oh, it's like a Taylor Sheridan. Oh my God. What the fuck with this show? People are very into it. But for me, this is like a show about Billy Bob Thornton mansplaining the oil industry repeatedly in like these very long monologues.
Oh, God.
There's two nearly identical monologues about his wife, previously ex-wife, who he reconciles with, wanting too much attention. And then she just like hugs him at the end. There's a bunch of jokes about women being on their periods and being insane while they're on their periods.
Right.
It's so bad. I mean, everything on Paramount Plus is awful now.
Except for Below Deck.
Especially. Oh, is that what you're watching? Is that how you're
I'm not
surviving
watching it
this
anymore, but I have
week?
watched it in the past. And I will say there's at least Below Deck, which is an absurd reality TV show about people who work on yachts. But yes, it is bleak out there, which maybe has something to do with like the level of enthusiasm around Heated Rivalry. Perhaps it's not as though it's emerging in the great era of television.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, it is such a breath of fresh air in this media landscape, which is filled with like Billy Bob Thornton's mansplaining,
Yes.
whatever topic.
Okay, but tell me about tell me about your thoughts. Like, we haven't actually discussed our personal experiences watching the show. I've watched like 5 episodes, I want to say. I know you've watched a few. And you did say something on a group chat that we were on that led me to believe that you're finding it to be maybe like a lot, like that it's maybe like a little much.
I mean, it's not too much. It's just like a show that one does not potentially binge, right? Like that is a large physical commitment for me.
Yeah.
To watch 6 episodes of like nonstop any kind of sex.
Sexual action. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like literally like every 10 minutes in the show there is
which is great, right? This is like why people love the show. It's fantastic.
But it's like a slow burn. You're like taking your time. Yeah.
At least I have to turn it into a slower burn, right?
Yes.
Like watch it in chunks. So yeah, I think I've seen 3 or 4 episodes. Okay. So I think there's only 6, right? So
yeah.
There's also a lot of time jumps, which I found like kind of disorienting. Like
years. We've like over the course of just a few episodes, we've traveled many years in time. Yeah.
Right. Which is fine, but like the marking of time is like almost it's a lot to just process, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think it's we'll get into it, right? But besides the fact that there is a lot of sex and naked men, I know we want to discuss why women in particular are so into this show.
Yes. And maybe to give just like a very basic rundown of the premise, it's about Ilya and Shane, who are hockey players who are like kind of at the height of their careers and are constantly like facing off in games.
Hockey
and so
land.
They're in Hockeyland. And so there's a lot of competition between them. So they're like well-matched foes on the ice. And then in the midst of this competition, this heated rivalry, things get very heated. They start sleeping with each other. And very important to note is that Shane is closeted, like very closeted. And this is his first time with being with a man. So that's the basic setup. The question, like, why do women like this show? Well, the most like basic answer, of course, is that women enjoy seeing 2 men together. Nearly half of all gay male porn is watched by women. We can also look at the popularity of slash fiction, where women who are fans of a particular pop culture franchise start writing stories that picture 2 men together who are not together on the show. And we've seen time and time again that there are like lots of, shows that have like an awareness that there is this like cultural and like subtext among fans that they are watching because they like the kind of implied tension between the two characters, even if it doesn't become an explicit part of the show. So
Yeah.
a classic example would be like Star Trek with Kirk and Spock, who are like one of the most classic slash fiction pairings.
Oh,
Then in Japan, we also have boy love mangas, which are wildly popular.
oh,
Yeah, so like there's been a lot of discussion about why straight women love this show. So I think that we should probably dig into that given our dire straits frame. And I actually returned to my memoir to remind myself of what I had said about my own enjoyment of watching gay porn.
yes.
Uh,
Please tell us.
so I have thought about this before many a time. But I'm just gonna shamelessly read to you from my own book. So I wrote, gay porn provided another outlet, one where men's bodies were luxuriously eroticized and where I didn't automatically and complicatedly project myself into the film. It meant being a true sexual spectator, and what a relief. In her book, Girls Who Like Boys, researcher Lucy Neville surveyed hundreds of women about their interest in porn and erotica, featuring what she calls M/M pairings. One of the most common explanations she received from participants about their interest in gay porn in particular was that they simply, quote, find men attractive and therefore like looking at them, particularly without their clothes on. As one participant responded when asked why she liked gay porn, quote, well, cocks.
I'm so glad that you're reading this out on our live today, Tracy.
I hope we don't get banned from Substack.
Whatever. They're wrong if we do. That's funny and tracks so much with what I know about you.
Oh, yeah?
But I would say, you know this about me. Personally, I prefer the butts. Like, there's a lot of really nice butts
Right.
on this show.
When you don't actually see any cocks on the show,
That's
is
a good
only
point.
butts. So
Yes.
it is well
Cute butts.
attuned to your needs, which is very nice.
So many butts, though. Just there's so many butts.
So many butts.
And so many
Constant
sound
butts.
effects, which I think we'll get into as
Oh
well.
man. Okay. Do you know what I want to see? I want to see someone interview whatever you call the people who do sound effects for movies and TV.
Yes.
Like, how did they do like the blowjob sounds? Like, they're so hyper realistic.
Oh my God, that's so. You're making me think. So I grew up. I don't know if you even know this about me, but my dad is a sound engineer, and so.
Oh my God, that's true.
So
Should we ask your dad?
I mean, well, what I'm thinking about is what he used to do, and this is live, but he also used to do sort of like soft quarry stuff. But anyway, we had a sound stage in our garage that was like different materials, right, for like doing footsteps. So there's like sand or whatever. So I'm just thinking, like, what would the props be at this sound stage to get these sounds right? That's fascinating. We should find these people and interview them.
I think it's a mouth. It's a mouth and a banana. Like, that's what that's,
A banana? Not
banana.
Yeah, not a
right?
dildo? A Foley artist. Yes. Thank you, Chandra. Yes.
I guess that would make more sense to actually, yeah. Anyways, important questions that no one else is asking about Heated Rivalry.
Right. Yes.
Also, okay, so I also wanted to point out that like this researcher who I quoted in my book, the other point she made is that you know in gay porn, men are objects of sexual attraction instead of women. And so gay porn allows women to experience something other than the heterosexual male gaze that we encounter everywhere in our lives, right?
Right. Yes. Well, that's interesting because it's making me think about like, well, what is the gaze of this show? Like, is it a female gaze? I mean, I think we've seen people make that argument, but
Well, because so the books were written by a woman,
Right,
and the
exactly.
man who made the show is a man, and but he has said very explicitly in interviews that I've seen that he was very aware that like essentially they needed to have a straight female audience for the show because it like that's what would make the show hit, which is interesting. Like that
Yeah.
that directing it to gay men was not going to get them this blockbuster, pop cultural success that we're seeing right now. And so it sounds like it's interesting that it's like a gay man who is doing this show, but also very intentionally trying to speak to a quote unquote female gaze.
Right, right. And we're going to get into some of those sort of complications of that, the problematics of that. But certainly, we've seen a lot of folks sort of speculating on why, straight women are so into this show, whether that is as simple as that straight dating and straight relationships suck,
Mhm.
right? Or that there's like a particular sort of power dynamic or a kind of lack of hierarchy in these, sex scenes that's really appealing.
Yeah.
Connor Story, who plays Ilya, said in Them, women are so exhausted by the idea of straight men that this is the only way they get to see a form of masculinity that feels accessible and interesting,
Yep.
which makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
This is from a Guardian piece. The explosive popularity of the gay hockey TV drama reveals women's desire for sex and romance without violence or hierarchy. And certainly we
Mhm.
see that in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of interesting because the show does play with power dynamics, but I think there's a way in which for women to watch two men playing roles of, dominant or submissive in ways that are often like in flux, like they're not so permanently fixed and are
Yes.
not so rigidly determined by like heteronormative roles and
Yeah.
sexual scripts, that there might be more freedom in being able to engage with power play that is not like stuck within patriarchal hierarchy. That it can
Right.
be actual play, that it can be fun, and that there's more a sense of freedom there.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Without so much of the threat. Though we should say lesbian women like gay porn and heated
Yeah.
rivalry too.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's being screened at lesbian bars and women's sports bars. Like they're holding marathon screenings. So I do think that there's like a narrative that is happening that it is this is a purely a phenomenon among straight women, which I don't think is true, but it is a phenomenon among women, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen audience statistics that show that lesbian women are like